Well, a very good morning from Phuket, and today, as you can see, it's a beautiful sunny day. There is a little bit of a breeze today, so apologies if you hear any wind across the soundtrack. It is quite breezy and I'm standing in quite an open area. Don't know whether you can guess where we're going to be doing the filming today. We're at the Laguna, of course, and in front of me is the small wedding chapel and also the very well-known Ansana Hotel. Laguna is sandwiched between Bang Tao and Cherngtalay, right next to the coast. Laguna does have its own beach, but we're going to take a look around the small shopping plaza first and also the area in general. It's been a long time since I've been over to the Laguna. Of course, you know that I've recently done a video on Bang Tao and Cherngtalay, and Cherngtalay really is the main shopping area for Laguna because the Laguna area doesn't have a large shopping area or a lot of facilities. It does have some, as I say. We're going to take a look at those in a moment, but first of all I'm going to show you the small chapel where I know quite a few of my subscribers have got married in the past before at. If you're looking at getting married over here in Phuket, that is one of the options. Of course, a lot of people choose to get married on the beach. We also have the Ansana Hotel behind me. Now, Laguna area is very popular with the expats. There's a large residential area here in Laguna of some beautiful properties, villas, condominiums, all types of property over here. So a very popular area with the expats, but it's also a popular area with tourists and holiday makers, because this area has some extremely nice 5-star hotels. We've got, of course, as I mentioned, the Ansana behind me. We also have the Banyan Tree, the Dusit Thani, which you're going to see very, very soon, because that's just 2 minutes away, just over the back there. So it also has that, of course, the Movenpick, and lots more well-known 5-star hotels. So a little bit more for the discerning traveller, I would say, the Laguna area is. Of course, the area in general is a little bit more expensive than other parts of the island, so that's worth bearing in mind. But let's now go and take a walk into the shopping plaza. While I think about it, I'm going to turn off the sound on my mobile phone because we don't want that transferring. So, as I say, I'm really by the lagoons. The beach area is just over the back there, and we're going to take a look at the Laguna beach. And it's a beautiful beach because, of course, the Laguna beach is really part of Bang Tao beach, which we saw on the last video. Just look at this area. I mean, how beautiful is it? I mean, there is seating scattered along, or there was. I think some of them may have been removed because of the current and ongoing situation, but there used to be quite a lot of benches around here, I seem to remember, and you could sit and just take in this lovely, lovely scenery. Really pretty area of Phuket, the Laguna. And the shopping plaza is just down here, so we're going to take a slow walk. Now, quite recently I visited the area. I haven't done a video on the area for quite some time, but recently I visited the area, and this shopping plaza was just all closed down. There was nothing open, but I'm glad to say that there are now quite a few shops. It's not 100% by any means, but there are now quite a few shops, small boutique shops, jewellery, clothing, that type of thing, and then also a few restaurants and cafes. An interesting bicycle hire shop, which we shall take a look at shortly. Something a little bit different if you're over here with the family. Now, the weather started off very cloudy this morning and it looked like it was going to rain, but as you can see just above me there, beautiful blue skies. The clouds have cleared away over here. Still a little bit cloudy where I actually stay in Phuket. Some ominous black clouds. So we've got a small coffee shop, coffee bar to my left there. I don't think that's open at the minute. It was open the other day. Maybe it doesn't open on a Sunday, or I'm a little bit early. It is coming up to lunchtime. And then we have another coffee shop stroke restaurant in front of me, which is open. So you're going to be able to get yourself a little bit of food and drink in this area if you're staying at one of the hotels, of course, or at one of the condominiums. There are still, of course, businesses that aren't open. To my right hand side here, as you can see, these weren't open the other day when I came and had a quick look around when I was doing the Bang Tao video. I came with Nat, and unfortunately these wasn't open then, and they still aren't open now, so I would guess they've not reopened up as yet. Let's hope going forward we're going to see more and more places open, but there are a few. It's not completely deserted, which is good. And down at the bottom here, right by one of the lagoons, there's a pizza restaurant, and there's also another restaurant as well. I was talking to the lady, well, Nat was talking to the lady when we were down here a few days ago, and the lady said they're owned by the same people, basically, the two restaurants. But you're going to be able to get yourself a pizza from the one restaurant, and then the other restaurant does Thai and European style food. So the area that we're in, this plaza, is called the Canal Village. So Pizza on Fire, that's the restaurant there. They do, of course, all pizzas. And then we have, I think this one's called the Albatross Cafe, and they do a mixture of food. They do pizzas as well as Thai food, European food. They do fish on the menu. They've got happy hours as well, so it's buy one get one free during the happy hour, which is 5 to 7. And what a beautiful setting. What an absolutely beautiful setting to come down here, sit and take in the lagoon area. I can see there's a few small boats on the lagoon, which is nice. There. Very, very beautiful. There's a little bit of building going on in the background there. That's been being built for quite some time. I remember about 2 or 3 years ago them just starting to build that, and it still doesn't look like it's finished. So maybe they've stopped building it, I'm not sure. But of course that hotel across there is the Ansana, and then we've got, of course, the ferry that runs around the lagoon, so that services all the different hotels. So you can jump on that little ferry, shuttle, boat, whatever you want to call it. I believe it's free of charge if you're staying at one of the hotels, and then you can hop between different places. Obviously here where we are now, it will pull up, I guess, at the end of here and then take you to the hotel if you don't want to walk. So as you can see there, some people just about to hop on it and go back to their hotel maybe, or somewhere else in the Laguna area. So that's a nice little thing. So if you're not keen on walking around, then you've got that to use. But this area is beautiful. It really is beautiful. Lovely for a walk around. So let's now make our way back up towards the front of this area, this shopping plaza as I call it. Canal, what was it called again? The Canal Village. So towards the top there are a few boutique shops I noticed as I came in. Clothing, jewellery, another cafe. I'm going to have to probably mute the soundtrack a little bit further up here, because at the front they've got quite loud music playing, and of course that causes me problems. But I've also noticed on the way in test and go and sandbox facilities here for testing for COVID. So if you're coming over and you're staying in this area and you need a test for, obviously the first day I think is going to be done at the airport. I'm not sure exactly how it all works, because of course I've not come into the country recently. I live here. So when people ask me about this, I'm not always the best person to ask regarding entering into the country, because I haven't entered into Thailand now for 4 years. So it's been quite a while, and things have changed, of course, over the last few months. As you can see there, there's the test and go just there. There is a sign. I think there's actually two of them in this area, but this is probably somewhere where you may come if you're staying in this area for day 5 test, because if you're coming in under the test and go, you need to have a test, of course, on day 5. Now there are talks underway of more restrictions being eased, and the possibility of the test on day 5 being scrapped. Now it's only, I must stress, it's only talk at the moment in the media, so just bear that in mind. It's not official yet, but but they are now discussing it. So let's keep our fingers crossed that that's going to be the case, because of course that's going to boost tourism even more if we can see some more restrictions being dropped. So there you go, you've got the test and go over there. As I say, that might be useful if you're staying in the area and you need a test on day 5, or maybe even a test to go home. I know some countries require it, some countries don't, and they've also got a second one there as well, the Laguna Swab Centre. And then we've got a small boutique shop here, clothing. It looks like, I don't know where, I think it might be all the same. Is it the same? I don't know, maybe it's a different shop, but there's some swimwear there as well for the beach, stuff for the beach stuff. And then another small shop, looks like a Chinese souvenir shop. It says souvenirs, but a lot of Chinese writing there. So that's not open today, but I think that was open the other day when I came and had a look. And then before I make my way out, I just want to show you this shop. Now these are not currently available because I was talking to the lady. I thought I'd get some details before I did the filming so I knew a little bit about it. But these are a little bit unusual, but they're not available right now. She wasn't quite sure how long it was going to be before they're available for hire, but they're bicycles. So obviously if you don't want to hire a motorbike or a car and you want to get around a little bit, maybe you've got some younger children, they might be a little bit of fun. So we've got a tricycle here, or I forget what they're called now, it's been that long, a tandem bicycle here, so you can have 2 people on. And then you've got these mountain bikes that are connected to, basically like my Charlie, the Sam Law, a sidecar, a little bit of a smaller version. But the lady that I was talking to was saying they're not yet available for hire. I did push her on the price. She didn't want to give me the prices because she wasn't sure exactly how much they were going to be, but I think they're quite cute. However, when she told me the prices, I thought, wow, quite expensive really for what they are. She said roughly, and this is only a guide, please bear in mind it's only a guide because she wasn't 100% sure, but roughly 360 baht per hour or 800-900 baht for the day. Now when you think about hiring scooters over here, you can hire a scooter in some areas of Phuket for as little as 150 baht. In this particular area they are more expensive. As I showed in Bang Tao, they start around the 300 baht mark, but again you need to shop around because obviously you can get discounts, you may find them cheaper elsewhere, so it is worth looking at. But I thought I would show this because it's something different, and I suppose if you've got younger children, you want to have a laugh, a bit of fun, drop the kids in the sidecar and away you go, and a couple of hours might be a bit of fun. As I say, around the 360 mark per hour or 800-900 baht a day. So yes, you can find scooters, possibly even a car for that sort of price per day, 800-900 baht for a small car. They are available in Phuket at the moment for those sort of prices. Obviously prices will rise as it becomes more busier, so just bear that in mind. If you're watching this video 6 months from now, these prices might not be relevant because obviously prices change. And then we've got a small massage shop here that was open the other day. It's not open today, it's Sunday today, so not everything's going to be open. Next to that we have a pharmacist, and then next to that we have a family mart. And the reason why I'm not going any further is because the security box here is playing loud music, and as I mentioned, that causes me a problem. And then to the other side we have a small boutique shop selling clothing. Next to that there's a small boutique shop selling jewellery, quite interesting pieces in there. And then next to that there's another cafe, and right on the end there is a money exchange, so there's somewhere to exchange your currency here as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump outside away from the music, and I'll come back to you, and we're literally virtually right outside the Dusit Thani, which I will show you in a moment. Okay, so I've made my way outside of the Canal Village, which is just behind me there, as you can see. The few shops by the currency exchange, I said there was a cafe, it looks like a sports shop selling sportswear, and also a souvenir shop selling different things to do with Thailand. So there wasn't a cafe there, my mistake. But as I say, I didn't want to walk up there because of the music, of course. So we're just outside the front of Canal Village, and to the left hand side of the Canal Village as you're looking at it is, of course, the Dusit Thani, which is just there. So literally, well, 2 minutes from the hotel, not even that really. We're going to walk down towards the Dusit Thani. Now, of course, I don't have access to this hotel at the moment, so I'm not going to be going inside, but I just want to show you the Dusit Thani. Now, I have done a video on the Dusit Thani in Krabi. It's been a long time ago. So the Dusit Thani hotels, they're beautiful hotels. There's no question about it. Great facilities normally within the hotels, and I'm sure the Laguna Dusit Thani is no exception. The service, customer service, impeccable really at the Dusit Thani, but you would expect it for a 5-star hotel. So right outside the Dusit Thani you have the Canal Village, so you're going to be able to get 1 or 2 bits and pieces. There is a mini mart in there, as I've mentioned, so again, mini marts are good for smaller items. Of course, they're not going to give you everything that you would get in a supermarket, but it's better than not having one. So if you're staying here, you want to grab a snack or something like that, you don't want to eat in the hotel for whatever reason it may be, or the local restaurants, then it's great to have the mini mart. So you have got one here, and there you can see the Dusit Thani. Beautiful hotel. I really want to do some filming in this one at some point. Hopefully I will be able to do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch locations. I'm going to go back and get my bike, and then we're going to move down to the Laguna Beach area and take a look around there. As I've mentioned, the Laguna Beach area does run along the Bang Tao beach, so a beautiful beach. So I'll be right back in a moment. Okay, well, I've just arrived down here at the Laguna Beach area, and basically I went to the front of the Dusit Thani hotel, and instead of going into the hotel, you just turn right and follow that road all the way, and that will bring you here. You can just see behind me. So there you go, Laguna Beach, and there are a few small vendors at the front here selling a little bit of food and drink. So you've got coconuts for sale, and there's some chicken, grilled chicken there, papaya. I think one of them is doing the Thai roti or pancake. So let's now go and have a look at the Laguna Beach area. As I said, we're right next to the Ansana, and behind me is the Dusit Thani hotel. I'm just going this way simply because there's music playing on the left hand side, so that's stopping me from going that way. I can already see that there's a massage area there right on the edge of the beach. We've got some, is it parasailing, whatever they call it, being pulled by the speedboat. Now I want to just clarify one thing that I mentioned on the Bang Tao video. When I was on the beach area, I mentioned about the jet skis, and somebody said, oh, I can't believe you're advocating the scams. Now obviously he didn't listen to the video on what I said. I said it was great to see the jet skis back. I didn't want to get into the argument about the scams, but what I will say is the scams are very, very easy to avoid here in Thailand if you use your own common sense. Now in the past I have rented jet skis here in Thailand, and honestly I've never had any problems renting jet skis, motorbikes or anything else, and it's all down to a little bit of common sense. If you want to avoid the scams and getting caught out, the easiest way of doing it is if you're going to hire a jet ski, and you want to hire a jet ski, and at the end of the day, why not? You're on holiday. But of course you have to be careful of the scams. The best thing to do is, before you accept the hire of the jet ski, get your phone, because most people have phones now, switch it on to video. Video is better than photographs because you can include the person, the vendor that you're hiring off on the video, so there's no way that they can dispute the video evidence. Walk around the jet ski, film it before you hire it. Any damage on that jet ski, point it out with the vendor, the person that's hiring you the jet ski, so that he knows it's there, you know it's there, and then when you bring the jet ski back, if there's any discrepancy in saying, oh, you've damaged your jet ski while it's been out on hire, you can play the video back and prove that it was already there before you hired it. So this is a simple and an easy way, and really common sense, to avoid these scams in Thailand. So all these people that say, oh, there's loads of scams over here, I just say, well, use a bit of common sense and then you won't get scammed. It's that simple. And if you're that concerned about the scams, then don't use the stuff. It's as simple as that. But I will say, I have in the past hired plenty of things like motorbikes, cars. I do exactly the same process, and no matter what I'm hiring, I do a video, and then there's no dispute afterwards, because if the damage was there before, I can show it. If it wasn't, then obviously it's happened during the hire period, then I'm liable for it at the end of the day, and that's it. But if you don't do that, then you are leaving yourself open, because yes, if there's damage on the vehicle and it wasn't pointed out, maybe they're going to say, well, that wasn't there before and you've got to pay. So that's what I say, bit of common sense, easily avoided. Right, let's get back to the video. Of course I would prefer Thailand not to have the scams, but it does, like every country in the world has scams, unfortunately, and it's about using a bit of common sense. But let's now look at the beach area. Of course, this is part of the Bang Tao beach. It runs up here. It's called Laguna Beach. I noticed the sign the other day calling it something else. It doesn't really matter what you call this beach. It's a beautiful beach. It runs all the way up to the Dream Beach Club, which I noticed had got a sign saying temporarily closed. So that's one of the few beach clubs that is closed at the moment, but that goes into Layan Beach. That top section is called, I believe, but I just call it the beach. And what a beautiful beach it is. I mean, just look at it there, and look at that colour of the sea. As you've noticed, there's a restaurant right on the beach here, so you're going to be able to get some food and drink if you want. There's some facilities. I can see possibly, yeah, jet skis over there. So if it's something you want, then they're there. And it's, for me, it's nice to see the jet skis back, because what it means is the tourists are coming back, because obviously the vendors of these jet skis, speedboats, etc., etc., are not going to have them on the water if there's nobody using them. As you can see there, speedboat, person using them. But just use a bit of common sense if you're going to go on these water facilities, I suppose you call them, water sport facilities. Use a bit of common sense and protect yourself. That's all you've got to do. But wow, what a beautiful day it is now. The sun, I can't believe how cloudy it was this morning, and the weather now here is just fantastic. Blue sky. We've got this guy coming in now. He's coming down. I don't know the cost. I'll have a look to see whether I can see a board. I'm just going to move out the way. He's not going to come too close. Something I want to have a go at. I haven't had a go at it yet, but I would love to have a go just to see what it's like. It looks great fun and gives a different view of the island. It'd be nice to strap a camera on and to go up there with the camera on. There you go, touchdown. So let's now move down the beach. There are a few people lying on the beach and sunbathing. Again, it's lovely to see the beach. I'm not going to say busy, but let's just say it's great to see the beach having people on it. After so long being quiet here for the last 2 years, it's just lovely to see people back, people using the facilities, people on the beaches, people in restaurants. I went a ride round, not last night, the night before, with Nat, just to have a look at my local area, Rawai, and at night time, because I've mentioned on my Facebook group I'm going to be doing some more, or a lot more, live videos if I can get it sorted out. Now I am dependent on my mobile provider, because of course I want to be out and about, so I won't be able to use Wi-Fi, but I want to do some actual live stuff showing Phuket raw. And what I mean by that, these live broadcasts are not going to be monetized, which gives me a lot more freedom when I'm filming stuff, because of course with monetization you've got all the restrictions. Look at that, the Dusit Thani there right on the edge of the beach. How beautiful does that look today? Oh my god. Nice little beach bar there. I think it's a beach bar, looks like it. Get yourself a drink there, sit and look at the just beautiful view. It's just fantastic today. Little bit of breeze. I hope it's not going across the microphone too much. I have got a cover on it, so let's hope that the soundtrack's not covered in wind noise. Fingers crossed. But as I was saying, I want to do these live broadcasts. I am a bit restricted because I'm using a mobile provider, and of course the upload speeds and things like that, so the quality may not be great. I'm going to test it out and see how I go, but I want to do one from Rawai in the evening time, because this is an area that's overlooked actually, and it's very, very busy at the moment, believe it or not. And I do use the word busy, because we went past and I couldn't believe that quite a few of the bars and restaurants were actually full. So I want to show that area at night because it's lovely. Of course the Rawai area is very well known for seafood, so if that's something you're after, get yourself down there. You can buy it straight from the market and then take it to a number of restaurants and they will cook it for you. I know there's a lot of places around Phuket that offer the same, but that is one of the big things about Rawai. It is a fishing community. They do have a lot of long tail boats, so really fresh fish there that can be bought at very reasonable prices. Now I'm not going to walk too far down this beach because the sun is beating down. But look at that. And that, isn't that a great sight? All the kids in the sea playing, and parents sunbathing and just relaxing in general. Fantastic. Just something we haven't seen for a very, very long time. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous beach here. So if you're coming and staying either in Bang Tao, Cherngtalay, Laguna, you're going to have some fantastic beach facilities. There's no doubt about that. I mean, look, just look at the water today. Look at the colour of it. That's beautiful. Really nice colour. Like a greeny blue, an emerald colour. Really nice. So I'm now going to make my way up to the edge of the Laguna area. One thing I didn't mention, when I was at the Canal Village, they actually have a shuttle bus service, and they will run you from the Canal Village up into Cherngtalay. Now, I believe it's free of charge if you're staying in the area, but I'm not 100% sure about that, so don't quote me on that. But they do have a shuttle service from the Canal Village, both, I guess, to the hotels around here and to the edge of Cherngtalay. I'm not quite sure where it stops, but that's handy if you want to go into the main area, of course, in the evening time. You don't want to drive, you don't want to use your scooter, because maybe you're having some drinks, and it's a great facility. Now, I don't know the times that it runs, but it's there, so it might be worth checking out. But for now, I will catch you in a moment. So I've just jumped location, and we're now on the very edge of Laguna. You can probably just make out the signs behind me showing, I've got actually the face tracking on my camera, so it's following me. Well, hopefully you can see those signs just behind me in the distance there, the Laguna, and that's really the start of the Laguna. And the reason why I've jumped here is I just want to show you how close you are to Cherngtalay. Now, these shops here are literally on the edge of the Laguna, and Cherngtalay is just a bit further along that road. I guess you'd say that this is Cherngtalay here, and then of course you've got the Laguna there where it starts, and a beautiful residential properties there in the background. Of course, as I mentioned, it is very popular with expats in this area. Lots of residential, lots of, I should say, beautiful residential properties in this area. Some very, very nice properties, but of course they come at a price. And then here, I guess you say, would be the start of Cherngtalay and Boat Avenue. You can see a sign there, Boat Avenue. So you've not really got that far to come. If you've got some transport, a motorbike, a car, it's very, very close. You're looking at a few minutes by bicycle, motorbike or car. If you're walking, yes, you can walk it, but it's obviously going to take you a little bit longer. I'm just going to show you, there's a property shop there. And then we've got, is that a restaurant across there? Massage, okay, a Thai massage and spa. Don't know whether that's open. It's not maybe open today because Sunday, some of the places not open. What looks like a restaurant there next to it, or maybe, again, is that another spa? Actually, that might be all the same one. Okay, I think that is the spa, so that is open. And then next to that, I'm not quite sure what we have, but there are some shops along here and there's some restaurants. I'm not going to walk too far. I just wanted to show you how close we are actually to Cherngtalay. So if you're staying in the Laguna, even though there isn't a lot of shops in the Canal Village, you're not going to be very far away from restaurants and bars and shops. Literally a few minutes walk away. Well, I'm not going to make this one too long because, of course, I've covered Bang Tao. Recently, I've done Cherngtalay, which is behind me. If you haven't seen those videos, go and check them out. They're on my playlists. They're in the list of videos. Do go and check out some of my older videos. Of course, if you've enjoyed this video and look around the Laguna area, then please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please share it in your social media. As I've mentioned, I'm going to be doing some live broadcasts which won't be monetized. I think I'm going to do it on my YouTube channel rather than Facebook. I did a poll on my Facebook group and people are saying YouTube, so it looks like that's the way I'm going to go and do some live videos. You're going to have to bear with me to start with because I don't know what the quality's going to be like. Do leave me some comments, let me know if the quality's, it's not going to be 1080, I'll be honest with you, because I can't get the upload speed when I'm out and about. Quality may be about 720, but let me know in the comments when I start doing the live videos what it's like, if it's acceptable, if it's terrible. I will be watching it myself, of course, and reviewing it, but it's just a way of me being able to show you Phuket raw, which won't be monetized, which gives me a little bit more freedom to show, of course, the nightlife, because I haven't done a lot of that in the past because of monetization restrictions. So I'm going to be doing that. All I'm asking people to do is please subscribe to the channel when you're watching those live videos, if you haven't already, because I'm doing it for nothing. I shan't get nothing back for those videos, but I want to do it to show people a little bit more than I can on the pre-recorded side, shall we say. So I've got that coming up very, very soon. And as I mentioned, I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and please do give it a thumbs up, share it on your social media, check out the description down below. I will have some links there to my Facebook group, as I've mentioned before, to my Tumblr Now site as well. If you don't want to follow me on Facebook because you're not a fan of Facebook, you can now follow me on Tumblr, which is basically a duplication of Facebook for people that don't want to follow Facebook. But I'm going to vary the site. It's not just going to be a duplication going forward, but at the minute it's just duplicating stuff because it's all about time for me to produce all this, because I've got a lot going on. So again, do check out those descriptions and I will have the links down there. Well, I guess that just leaves me to say, as always, thanks for watching the video, and until next time, you take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.